what should we do next for the business? Like even we in the industry in Vietnam, we feel we are so lucky living in this period of time because we can see the drastic change from the early day of the 30-second TVC
Yes.
to the new phenomena of like social media and digital. So it's changed significantly. So, but you are like more lucky than us. You work on the regional base, so you
Right.
see different markets. So, can you give our audience like a crystal view, like how significant specifically, like the industry change?
Yeah, I mean, there are a number within that. There are a number of topics, right? Because it's
Yeah.
a very big topic.
Yeah.
So let me break it down a little bit and talk to different elements of it. I think it starts with the reality that the consumer's world is very different than it was before, right? So before we talk about us as an ad agency or as a communications company, because we're far more today than an ad agency. You know, even the terminology needs to change because what we do is very different than what we used to do. It's much broader. But start with the consumer, right? The average person. I mean, we're all living in this world. You've got, you know, something in your hand. You got a tablet in your hand, right? You're always connected. And what we do as an industry starts with what humans are doing every day. And human life has changed dramatically in the last 20 years. The amount of connectivity, what they're doing with it, the amount of creativity, the amount of content, the amount of just access to new ideas instantly, the amount of data that creates, the importance, because you've got so many things talking to you now to find a relevant way to connect with you. So when we start our work, we're talking to people whose lives have changed. Our clients have changed because they're smart, right? There are a lot of smart clients. And you know, our clients today are international clients, as they have been for many years, who want to develop their business in the fast-growing markets of the world, like Vietnam. But there are also a lot more clients we work with that are great local clients, local brands like Vinamilk, for example, that are very eager to build their brand, build engagement with consumers, potentially grow their business in other places, okay? So when we start our work, we have to think about consumers whose lives have changed a lot. We have clients who have more and more needs and demands in order to engage with consumers who changed a lot. So the industry we're in has to now change as well. And for us, that means that more of what we do has a number of connected parts. When we talk about things like, when we use the term modern marketing, I think really what we're signaling, in the past people talked about integrated marketing. I think that's kind of an old terminology now.
Yes.
But the point is today you have to connect, if you want to be effective for a brand, you have to connect an insight with a great creative idea, with the ability to talk through multiple channels, to engage through multiple channels, to use data intelligently, to create experiences for consumers, to allow consumers to participate, to talk to you, to allow consumers to talk with each other. If they are engaged with a brand, they often become advocates for the brand to other consumers. So the design of what we do now is much more extensive than in the old days. And it means making a more complex world simpler for our clients, because going to our clients and just telling them the world's complex and making it more complex doesn't help them. We need to take a complex world and make it more graspable for them. So the industry has to change. We as a company, as Ogilvy, we've pushed ourselves to change for a long time. So I think what's important, I guess this is my main message to you, is that all of this change you can look at two ways. You can either look at this and have a little bit of anxiety, which I think the industry around the world talks about, oh, the world's changing and where's our future going? And, you know, the Googles of the world are, you know, people are seeing them as very dominant. What's the future of your industry? Or you can look at this as an industry and go, this is terrific. I've got more things to do for clients, more ways to build influence, more ways to help my clients talk to consumers than ever before. So I think the mindset is the beginning point. At the core of it too, the other thing I would say that's important, I go back to the clients, right? They're building brands still. And one of the things that Ogilvy is very focused on, as we have been forever, It's our DNA. Is how do you make brands matter to people? How do you make, in a modern time, again, whether it's an international brand or a great local brand, how do you make it a symbol in people's lives of quality, something they trust, something that is tailored to their needs, something that they like, that they understand why it's good intellectually, but they also feel that it's a brand that represents what they have as a value. So, that's within all of this, that's also what we need to be doing. That's a very centering principle, is ensuring that we're helping our clients build relevant brands that matter in today's world, just like we did it back in the days when we were building brands. And you've been in the business yourself. You spent over a decade plus doing that for clients. We all have to, in our industry, add value to our clients, right? We don't have an industry without clients, right? This is not about us internally. This is about us as Ogilvy, but also as an industry, finding new ways to help clients succeed at what they do. So I think the other thing in Vietnam that's important is to build an industry, right? To attract great young talent. And I think Ogilvy's role as a leading agency in Asia is obviously, our primary job is to help our clients. But I think we've always seen part of what we're doing as building the industry we're in and the importance of it, and investing in talent and raising young talent to be great professionals, because I think having a professional standard is important to have credibility with clients. So there are many issues. I mean, I could talk all day about it because it's not a simple topic, but those are some of the big issues. Consumers changing, clients having new demands, agencies having to think much more broadly and not as ad agencies anymore, and being capable of doing new things. And at the center of it, making sure you're still doing what's needed, which is building great brands. That's really some of the big topics, I think.